Today I'm going to share with you a bunch of the big 4 patterns that you can use for Project Dress a Girl. So we're going to talk about the dress requirements, but really you all, these patterns were shared with me by a very wonderful friend who's also Puerto Rican. So thank you so much. But these patterns would definitely satisfy the person who wants to have a paper pattern in front of them and they don't like to use indie patterns. They don't like to tape them together. And all of these patterns really do fulfill the Project Dress a Girl 2022 requirements for dresses. And they're all still in stock, so you should be able to find them in Joann's or on the Big 4 websites. So let's just kind of walk through them and talk about why they're such great patterns. Okay, so first let's start with these 2 patterns. This one right here, this is Berta 9438, and this is Simplicity 1379. Now, I chose both of these for the different pocket features. Now, this one in particular has 2 different pocket styles. It has this really big, gigantic pocket in the front, but then it also has this really fun side pocket detail, and you can see it really well on that little doll pattern there. If you look at the back, you see that it does call for a little closure right there, but I wouldn't worry about that closure at all. In fact, I would sew that back right up. And if you're making this view with the little buttons on the shoulders, I would stitch those down and put some decorative buttons on the shoulders there, because this pattern very much looks like it can be pulled right on over the head, which is one of the things that we're definitely going. So this pattern satisfies. It's a pullover dress, so it'll go over the head, and it has pockets, and you can use a woven fabric. Now this pattern right here is a bit of a simpler one, which is really kind of nice. It has an elasticated neckline that goes all the way around, and it does have sleeves with that little elasticated sleeve edge right there. And then, of course, you have to add on the heart pockets. Now, if you're looking for a fun heart pocket tutorial, you can always click right up over here. I did a heart tutorial for pockets last year, and you all, they're so much fun. So many dresses came in last year with heart pockets. So definitely check that out. I have a couple of bigger girl dresses here. So I've pulled 3 different McCall's patterns for you all to check out. Now let's take a look at this one first. Now this is McCall's 7347. Now what I really absolutely love about this one is the view that she's wearing right here, with kind of like the handkerchief hem, but it's in the front. It's such a cute little detail. Now the one thing I will note about this pattern is that it doesn't come with pockets, so you will have to add patch pockets onto the front of this skirt. This dress right here, you all, how adorable is this high-low hem for a little girl? And I even like that they have the t-shirt option for the front top. So if you wanted to even do a knit on the top and a woven on the bottom, that's also an option. Definitely. Again, this pattern does have with an option to add a little pocket on the top. I would say add some patch pockets onto the skirt as well. It also has an elasticated waist, which is really nice for the bigger girls because it can provide a little bit more shaping, which is something that they're looking to be stylish too, and they wanna look cute, and so that's always something that they're looking for as well. So that's McCall's 6948, and then we have McCall's 7768. Now, how cute is this option? I mean, they're both really cute, honestly. And I love the pockets, the big pockets here. So make sure that you add them. It does have really fun trim details. And it does have a yoke in the front with gathers that go into that. Now, we've talked pretty extensively here about not using ribbons at the shoulders or for ties of any sort, just because they tend not to stay tied very well. So if you're going to be making this dress, swap the ribbon out for twill tape or fabric ties. And then there's also this pattern here, which is McCall's $57.97. Now this actually looks like the traditional pillowcase dress. And if you look at this green version right here, it has the 2 pockets, that gathered neckline, and it has the tie that runs all the way through the back there. So this is pretty much your standard pillowcase type dress, but of course we're not using pillowcases to make that. You can make that out of a beautiful cotton fabric. Recently, someone shared a dress for Project Dress a Girl 2022, but they used a pajama pattern for it. And it's actually something that I had never considered. So I pulled one pajama pattern that we're going to discuss and one that looks kind of similar to it. And they're both McCall's patterns. So this is McCall's 8216, and this is the pajama dress I was telling you about. Now, what's really nice about this one is it has a nice length. It has that ruffle at the bottom, so great color blocking options. And then it also has sleeves. Now, it does have that like kind of cap fluttery looking sleeve as well. I don't recommend that you make that view, which is view C, because the armholes are actually cut quite low. And when I'm looking at it on this little one right here, you can actually see quite a bit of skin exposed. So if you're going to use this pattern, which is McCall's 8216, definitely make sure that you're making one of the views with these sleeves, which is view A or view C. They're both super adorable. Also, you may have noticed this pattern does not have pockets, so add those patch pockets on. Now this pattern does have raglan sleeves, which is kind of nice because it makes for a super easy construction, which is also the case with this one, which is McCall's 5967. I really do like this longer dress here, of course, and I like that it has a longer raglan sleeve with kind of that like slouchier elastic sleeve right down here at the wrist. It's really cute. It does have the bow or the flower options there, and it does get gathered into the neckline with some elastic. I think it's a really good option. Make sure that you add on patch pockets, and if you need a tutorial on that, check it out right over there. And there's also these 2 patterns, which are super duper cute. So let's start with this one, which is Simplicity 8564. Now, this pattern here, it's just super adorable. You can see that it has gathers up at the neckline. It's pretty simple, so you will have to add pockets to this one. But it also has the ties that come up around the neck, and it ties in the back. I really like this option here for that little kind of cap flutter sleeve. I think it's just really adorable. So I think that's a great option as long as you're going to add on some pockets. And then we also have this one, which is Simplicity 2377. I think this has got to be my favorite pattern of the bunch, and it's mostly because of all of the different variations that they have here. So it is a pullover dress with an elasticated neckline, so you can see all the little gathers there. But it does have some really great color blocking potential with the different tiered ruffles and the bodice. And then I also like how there are different sleeve options. So you have the kind of flutter cap sleeve. You have a cute little short sleeve. You have this option here that is just one longer skirt without the added tiers. And then you also have this option here, which has the fun trim. And if you look at the line drawings on the back, you can see that there's actually ties in the back as well. But just like many of the other patterns that we just reviewed, you may have to add patch pockets onto this one. And actually, I would just add patch pockets at the bottom. Came pretty close to this seam right here. Or I would even catch the bottom of my patch pockets down into that seam to really stabilize it. So those are just some ideas of really cute different dresses that you can sew up using Big 4 patterns. Now, I know many of you have already been using Big 4 patterns to sew some of your dresses. So if your pattern wasn't in this lineup here, drop it down in the comments below and share it with all of us so that way people can get a whole lot more options that are available to them. Now, if you're not familiar with her, definitely check out Pam's video that's right over here because she is actually sewing up a bunch of different patterns for Project Dress a Girl, and she's going to give you her straight honest review on those. And if you missed the kickoff video with all the details, check it out right up over here. And you all, don't forget we have a live unboxing tomorrow, so I'll see you then.